technological transformation is a very painful process in history, and right now I see how the technological transformation process take place in different ways in different countries and cultures. So there are many turbulence in this process. And at first, for example, for artificial intelligence, this process now affects a small part of the specialty and professions, but it will irreversibly change of all areas of our activity. This is an extremely painful process, I think, and it will be necessary to transfer billions of jobs, create completely new types of activities in professions, and ensure the constant retraining of billions of people around the world. So the most important things that robots replace human skills of average qualifications, and people as a result must occupy either more or less skillful professions. It's very interesting, and this will happen for the first time in history, that the gradual growth of education will not push the growth of well-being, and the middle-level trap will form. Many will prefer to do unskilled work because it will make too easy to find a job. There's a problem. This is not a solution now. There is a global problem not fully understood now, I think. And the government and ordinary people tend to underestimate the speed of transformations. And people are confident that someone of something will provide a smooth transformation. But all the historical examples of technological revolutions tell us that transformation are extremely painful. And this transformation will take place not a century or several decades as in past, but faster, in one generation. This lack of understanding of the speed of process means that some point control of this change may be lost. For example, this can be seen already now when public opinion is formed largely of the robots of global social networks, and people are trying to control this process, but often turn out to be powerless. In the future, this will cover almost of areas of activity. As a result, we will have a completely different structure of the labor market, another proportion between different types of activities. In particular, the line between professional activity and leisure and entertainment will be removed. A person can solve problems relevant to a particular activity by playing a computer game, for example. And gamification will overturn the system of motivation and management of people, and the world of the professional activity will become similar to behavior in game caused by psychological addictions. The same will apply to training, since a person will be forced to constantly upgrade his skill and be a constant race for new knowledge and skill. Profile of knowledge and skills, such a profile's computer game, will determine the character level and the level of person purification of professional activities. There are not such systems yet, but this is the logic of development of modern digital civilization, I think. The next global factor we discuss about it is saving our planets. For example, the mass of all things man-made is already greater than the mass of entire biosphere now. It's incredible. The influence of man such that we must take into our hands the development of all biosystems, the planet climate, and the very evolution of man, I think. And I think that geoengineering and terraforming will be dominant industry in 20-30 years. Humans will manage local and global ecosystem, achieving a balance that is safe for the planet of all humanity. And right now we not even first steps in these directions, and only few pilot projects I know who really can name the terraforming and geoengineering, but it need to create this industry in 10-15 years, I think. And very important that biology of man and his evolution as the species must be taken under complete control by gene editing methods. The COVID epidemics have shown that the fragility of modern medicine, which does not cure people, but allows them to live longer with serious disease. We need a fundamentally different paradigm of medicine aimed at managing human health and longevity. We've been to change human nature, and human can be changed faster than in all previous hundreds of thousands of years of evolutions. The longevity trends intersects with robotics trends. People will want more and more jobs. They will be productive more longer, but more and more machines will do their works. This is a key contradiction, I think. In other words, we need to make people not only healthy, but also more flexible, constantly young, waiting more and more new experience and new knowledge, which will break the cycles of life that we do now. And you speak about optimistic. The third directions, my lovely directions, is the space expansions. Humanity is becoming space species and seriously intend to develop the space. Space now not an arena of competitions between states, but became the sphere of entrepreneurial activity. And this is a new frontier that is transformed the world as much as the era of great geographic discoveries. Space requires completely different skills and ability of humans. In it, a person will constantly face of unknown. As in the past, when the inhabitants on the frontier were bolder and more capable to surviving, those who would conquer space will be more resourceful and free. Space will allow all humanity to evolve and succeed in competing with machines which take the routine jobs. Space exploration revives the psychology of pioneers, reforms the sphere of freedom and advancement into the unknown. These are three most important features of humanity which has recently been of little use now on Earth. The space again revives the era of great foundries and gives humanity an opportunity to develop into a cosmic form. And I believe this is a greater transformation of humanity in the past thousands of years. So I think we start few decades of great transformation of human and transformation as of to create new species who lived with robots in one human robots civilization, who lived in new practice and new collaboration forms, and forming combine new practice to develop and expansion. And I think we need totally change our traditions and life organizations. Idea, for example, will not only one period for born babies and another period for oldies. We will have few periods for new and new works, new and new lives, new and new experience, and it's very long life with new metrics and new ideas how to live. So new few decades will be dramatically change all our history, and I think is the main change of all human history for last thousands of years. A small disclaimer, I work with technology and therefore I see how they began to change the world we are used at early stage. I totally agree with them that we need for responsibility. For example, in addition to the current reasons of immigration and refugees, we will have a huge climate migrations. And I think that only geoengineering should create comfortable territories for billions of people. So it need it because I hope to geoengineering and global industries. And I see that humanity has already begun to transform itself. It's a fact. And this process can no longer be stopped. I see both great opportunities and huge risks of this. And therefore, I really like Pavel's ideas that we need global cooperation for development of some kinds of plan that will reduce that risk. How global cooperations is been testing of the issue with the climate, but for example, in the COVID case, cooperation did not started. So we need new global management tools, and we need to think how create global cooperations platform to reduce technology risks and other risks. Thank you.